So I'm going through this memory lane just to remind people that I have tried to manage officials of the Ministry of Environment. I have tried to guide them. I have tried to share with them why they must revisit their assumptions about their role. But I'm convinced that many of them are simply incapable of changing. And since change must take place, we must move on and leave them at the train station until they are ready to board. Edo State won't wait for anyone. I went through Benin City. You recall how we celebrated with fanfare, and justifiably too, about 14 lanes that we built around the Bemudia neighborhood, Iheya Street, Iheya Lane, all those areas. Those street lights were working. But as soon as the Commissioner of Information and we dissolved the cabinet, and it was now the duty of the civil service to ensure that those street lights were working. I'm told for about 3-4 months now, those street lights have been off. Those civil servants who left our people in the dark, why should we put food on their table? We don't owe them a job. If they do not owe our people services, then I do not owe them a job. So I need to be clear that in arriving at this decision, I have tried to see how we can reform. But those who are incredibly deformed will be kept out of the service. And Major Loye's appointment is meant to be a shock therapy. I understood that and I have no apologies. Just to make the point that nobody will remain unless you are ready to work. But Major, let me also appeal to you. We run a civil government, not a military government. And you may be major, you are major in rank, but we have not appointed you as a general to command the Ministry of Environment. You must conform with the rules, all the extant rules and regulations of the service. And I know that you can benefit and you must benefit from the guidance and counseling of the head of service and of anyone who has what you lack. Managing the civil service bureaucracy. What we do must not only be right, how we do it must be correct. So I appreciate you have all of that to go through. I do not expect you to be an office desk officer. You will be a field palmsec, ensuring that the city is clean. That when we say no refuse dump, you dump, we arrest, we prosecute, if guilty, we jail. No more, after 4 years of appealing, it can't be business as usual. But we must follow, we must use very civil method. Last week when we asked you to join me at Oba Market, I asked that they should remove something. I see your men, people are saying, take it easy. Is smiling while you are removing those illegal things. We are not fighting with anybody. We will smile, but we will be firm. Just like I smile in removing the other palm sec, and I'm smiling in appointing you, we will continue to smile, but we will not bend when it comes to the development of Edo State. So please, you have to be careful. You must know, not a few will try to set trap for you, including issues of financial regulations. People will try to set trap. But people have set trap for me, and I'm here. So when you are conscious of that, you will be careful. And And once you are careful, and above all, God sees your heart, He will guide you through. No weapon fashioned by a disgruntled person will affect you. Let me assure the unions in the public service. The Civil Service Union, the Civil Service Technical, the Union of Typists and Stenographic Staff, Association of Senior Civil Servants, that they have nothing to worry about. All of us are accountable to God. We celebrate our status as wage earners. We are not wage awardees. We are not beneficiaries of a kind employer. We are paid because we have worked. I expect that they must join me to send a message to all those who are on our payrolls that wages is not a dash. As president of the NLC, we sack union leaders who could not protect workers. And workers, when they meet under the trade union umbrella, they vote out of office their own leaders who they found to be incompetent, corrupt, and unreliable, or both. So if union leaders lose their office for not serving the union purpose, no one should expect that governments will keep in employment people who are stale in brain, senile in the way they think, and completely incompetent in the way they handle their brief. So I want to assure them that we will never undermine the security of those who are in the employment of Edo State public and civil service. And from now on, in promoting people, it will be how many years you have served. What have you done during the period? If you were snoring away for 4 years, we can't give you senior snoring position. It does not exist. I don't want to go on and on and on, but I want to use this opportunity to appeal to Edo people to pay a little more attention to keeping our environment clean. We are building more roads. We are cleaning up the drainages. We are trying to reclaim the moat, not only for its beauty, but also for its functionality. I'm still going to make a state broadcast to speak to our people on the issue of the environment. We must keep initiative. By habit, Edo people are clean. We are not like, so there's no reason for us to see the sort of rot and rubbish that we find in different parts of the city. So in this our new second and final term, no compromise. Everybody must clean his house. We're also appealing to our people, when we have built a road, put facilities on it, we expect people to also paint at least the front of their homes to complement what we are doing. You go to the urban markets that we were celebrating only a few months back, all those flowers and plants are gone. Because just few days of commissioners not being there, of civil servants being in charge, they have removed all the wires and all the other protective guards that were there, and the place is now bare. We must replant and restore the green. We must return Benin City to a green digital city. We won't do that. I will have to appeal to parents or landlords to ensure that they plant flowers in front of their homes, or when we plant them, that they maintain them. So once again, Major, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate your beautiful wife, and I want to thank her for allowing her husband to be exposed to so much risk in our task of cleaning up the city. There are people who are so difficult that they think it is their best right to block the highway. It has been your husband or sometimes to call him like a general purpose officer to do all sort of things. I want to see the same commendation to Comrade. You know, but for the two of you, your committees, Benin City will be much worse than it is. And I know that your men have come under attack, you have come under attack, but let me also send out a clear warning. Anybody who further attack your men and women who are working, that person will face the wrath of the rule of the law. They will prosecute, and if you secure conviction, they will go to prison. We will fully comply now and enforce the letter and the spirit of our environmental laws. Nobody is above the law. I've seen on Lagos Road, New Lagos Road, the new additional street lane that we have built has been converted to permanent car parks and vehicles. Traders have taken over our walkways. All those must be reclaimed for the benefit of the majority of our people. So I want to thank you for accepting this appointment. I want to assure the civil service, those who are ready to work, they have nothing to be afraid of. We will not only retain them, we will promote those who deserve promotion. We will reward those who deserve reward. We give incentive wherever possible. I'm working with the head of service. We agree we'll have to organize more training and retraining in the civil service so that people have what it takes. But why would we do all of that? The future begins today. And Major, get cracking. Thank you very much.
Sir, I just don't know where to start from. Because before now, before I will say anything, I must thank you as a father. But there's one statement I think I inherited from you some time ago, that as a father, leadership is about you understanding, I don't know how to put it because I cannot say I'm confused. I will still get going. But I know that I appreciate you as a father, and I will continue to appreciate you. And I promise that the responsibility of making me, appointing me as the permanent secretary, the state will not regret giving me that appointment. And taking this appointment, first of all, means that I will do all my possible best, even though I know myself that I'm immune to blackmail and whatever things that is coming. But my own duty is to satisfy the state government and the Edo people. So there's one other thing that I believe is missing here. I was glad when you mentioned that I'm the son of an Edo indigene. I want to say something that is not a mistake or is an error for you to say that. Going through my royal lineage, I know I have a very serious and royal link to this state. The documents are there. It's not what I can start explaining here. When I'm working here, right from when I was in the military, anytime I'm here, I feel comfortable staying in Benin City. More than any other place. And I believe my being here is not by accident, it's designed. And I continue to thank everybody for accommodating my excesses too, because I know as a military man, like most of my friends turn to be a sample, and I put it, I use them as a scapegoat in most of my operations. Because I believe when you as my friend, if I can force you to obey the simple law and order, no any other person will come close to me to plead. So I always, like what I told my mother-in-law the other time, unfortunately she's not here. I told her maybe you have to take your daughter until when I finish the assignment. I thank my wife too, because with this theory of kidnapping and some other things in town, I'm only scared of her, but for myself I'm not scared of anybody else. I believe anybody that plans to kidnap me is a bad business. Because one thing I know is that the state government will give me state burial. That I'm very sure. For the appointment, sir, I want to assure the government that I will put in my best. There's no difference between the command structure of the military and the civil service cadre. Only that one tends to be weak and the other tends to be forceful. In looking at the command structure of the Nigerian Army, we have the commander, we have the RSM knows his roles. The platoon commander knows where his duty ends. The company commander knows where he cannot take decision. So also the commander and the commanding officers. And I believe the same thing applies to the civil service, which I believe all cadres have the functioning back, which I believe I would definitely appreciate everybody and learn to work with everybody. Like myself, sir, I want to hand up in saying this. Unfortunately, I don't believe in sentiment when I'm working. Most people that have been working with me, the most casualties in my unit have always been either they are my